What's goody? It's your host J Rose as always, and to start off the NBA season, there's been a lot of weird things going on. A lot of teams doing surprisingly well and surprisingly poor compared to what I thought they were going to do coming into this season. So I want to talk about those teams. Let's get into it. Over 90% of the people that watch my content are not subscribed. So if you're messing with the videos, please hit that sub button and the noti bell so you'll get notified every time I upload. But let's get back to the hoops. Number one on my list, and the reason I'm even making this video in the first place, is because I just got done watching that Warriors game, and the Warriors look absolutely dangerous. I'm not going to lie. Just starting off the season, obviously, they have one of the best records in the league, and they just beat the Boston Celtics, the reigning champions, a team who everybody thinks should be unbeatable this season. They just beat them. Their record is now 7-1 on the season. And looking at that roster, just top to bottom, looking at the depth chart, I really did not think that this team was going to be that good. I thought they were going to come out the gate and just look like a playing team throughout the entire year. But so far, the Warriors look like they know what they are. They look like they have an identity, and it's defense. And I find that very fascinating. I think that this team really just leaned into what some of their players' strengths are. They're giving effort, they're giving intensity. Their games feel like playoff atmosphere games, especially the Celtics game. From start to finish, they were on body. They were playing great defense. Jason Tatum was uncomfortable. They were making other guys uncomfortable. Asterisk, Jaylen Brown did not play. So I think this game absolutely looks different if Jaylen Brown plays. Having another premier shot creator on the floor absolutely changes the entire dynamic of the game. I'm not sure if the Warriors still are even hanging with the Celtics if they're both playing. But like I said, that defense looked amazing, and I'm sure that they can make Jaylen Brown feel uncomfortable as well. Even though Jason Tatum did end the game with 30 points, that defense looked incredible. Great hustle from Gary Payton. Obviously, we know Draymond Green is going to bring it on that side of the ball, and then Andrew Wiggins as well. Steph Curry is buying into the defense as well. His hands look awesome. He's staying in front of guys. So the Warriors defense right now is their calling card and not their offense, which I think is very, very interesting. But on the offensive side of the ball, you got a guy like Buddy Hield giving you 20 points on good efficiency to start off the season, hitting threes left and right, and that was a great addition. I didn't think Buddy Hield was going to have such an impact on this team, especially right away, and he's meshed in the Warrior system perfectly. Honestly, I knew he was going to play well with Steph Curry. I just didn't think he was going to play this well in the Warrior system. Like, I understand that shooters, if you're a shooter and you have some decent off-ball movement, you're going to play well in the Warrior system, but I did not think Buddy Hield was going to just come out and explode like this to come out the gate. And I honestly think that's awesome for the Warriors. I hope they can eventually like really work up the rankings They're on the top right now, but I hope that they can keep this pace. Honestly, I feel like the playoffs are a lot better when the Warriors are in them. I don't want this to be like a hot start and then they fizzle out. It could very well be that. But to be honest, the way that they're playing defensively and the fact that Steph Curry, outside of a couple games here and there, has looked pretty tame, on top of the fact that he's also missed a couple of games, the Warriors look dangerous. The Warriors look absolutely dangerous to start this season off. And I think that the fact that they came out the gate this hot is just opening a lot of people's eyes, definitely opened my eyes, and I hope they can really keep this pace up. I feel like as Steph Curry gets it going, gets the ball rolling, his offense is only gonna get better as the season goes on. Then you got Buddy Hield on top of that. You got other guys like Brandon Podziemski, Jonathan Kuminga. I think this is gonna potentially be a good team if they can keep up what they've been doing so far to start off the season. My second team that has surprised me so far has been the Cleveland Cavaliers, and if you watch my channel, you know that one of the highest viewed videos I got over this summer was talking about Cleveland and how I don't think that their team and their core is really going to work well enough to get a championship. And so far, they've looked like a championship team. Nothing set in stone just yet. Like I said, the Warriors game literally just went off, and there's a bunch of NBA games going. Whoa, the Lakers are losing by 20. Nothing set in stone in terms of this game with the Pelicans right now, but they are up by 8 points. So consider, let's just give them the W. If they lose, they lose. We can revisit it. They'll still be 8-1 with the loss, but if they win, 9-0. So for this team to start off 9-0, I think that's absolutely incredible, and it's been by committee. Obviously, D Mitch is the head honcho. That's their main offensive guy. But even tonight, Donovan Mitchell is not playing that well. He has like 14 points. Darius Garland, 14 points. Jared Allen, 14 points. They're playing committee basketball. On any given night, a guy could go off. Darius Garland just had 40 the other night. So I think this team is coming out the gate. They're meshing really well right now. And this is another team. I really do hope they can keep up the pace. I hope they prove me wrong. There's a guy in my comment section going super hard telling me that the Cleveland Cavaliers were absolutely going to be the best team in the NBA. And listen, I still don't believe that they are. Obviously a 9-0 record is a great start, and they're probably number 1 in the power rankings right now. If I had to make one, that video is going to come soon as well too, the week 2 power rankings. But they are absolutely playing magnificent basketball. One of the best teams in the league start off, obviously one of the only undefeated teams left with them and the OKC Thunder. And I'm just loving how they're doing it. It's not one guy going off. It's really committee basketball, and it looks like stuff that they can continue to do. So when it just does so happen that a guy goes off for a 40 ball, they still have everything that they've been building with the rest of the team. And I just feel like they look a lot more cohesive to start off the year. And I absolutely love that for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I hope they can keep this up. I'm a big D Mitch fan. I hope they can be a contender, like a true contender, and be good the entire season. I would love that for Donovan Mitchell. I would love that for Darius Garland. I would love that for the entire Cavs roster. I still do think that their roster is flawed. I think in a playoff series that this team can possibly be easy to contain and neutralize, especially depending on what the matchups are. I feel like they struggled a lot against the young Magic team, so I'm just not too confident in what they can do going up against the Celtics again, or if they got to go up against the Knicks. I don't think that they're on that caliber just yet. I want the season to progress, even though they are by far and wide better than the Knicks right now and better than the Celtics right now record-wise. I still don't think that they're just on that level yet, but we'll see how the season goes. Good job, Cleveland. And the last team that I really wanted to talk about was the San Antonio Spurs. Honestly, I expected a jump from San Antonio this season, and I'm just not seeing it. Victor Wembanyama does not look like the super hot commodity that he's supposed to be to start the season off. Obviously, I know it's only been 2 weeks, but regardless, Victor Wembanyama's offense, it's just not here right now. He can't really score right now. The efficiency is not that good. And being that you're playing with one of the best point guards and facilitators of all time in Chris Paul, I would absolutely expect your efficiency to go up. But they just haven't looked too hot. They had a loss to the Mavericks that didn't look too good. They got blown out by the Rockets twice. It's just not a great look to start off the season. I don't think Harrison Barnes has been playing his best basketball. I think Chris Paul is not super aggressive on offense. He's trying to let the young guys control the offense. One bright spot on this team has been Champagnie, and his jump shot has looked super sweet to start off the year. He's been having a lot of decent games so far. I need Devin Vassell to come back. I want to see what this team looks like with Devin Vassell. He's probably going to end up coming off the bench, but either way, I really did expect the Spurs to not look as bad as they look right now. They look like a lottery team right now. Absolutely. And like I said, let's just look at this Rockets game right now. Pull up the stats, see what's going on there. Yeah, Victor Wembanyama, 15 points on 6 for 14 is not terrible, but that's not great either. 1 for 6 from 3. Obviously, we know he's going to bring the defense every night. That's really going to be his trademark throughout his career, to be honest. I feel like whether the offense is good or not, Wembanyama's defense, because of the way he moves on the floor and obviously his stature, he's going to be a beast on defense no matter what. So he gave you your 3 blocks and a steal today. But I'm just not seeing the progression that I wanted to see from this team, to be honest. Champagnie had 13, 3 for 6 from 3. Victor, 15, 6 for 14. Chris Paul had 10 points, 4 assists. Just not great stuff. And the Rockets are a team that I am expecting to make at least a play-in push. They've looked pretty decent to start off the year, so I'm not saying losing to the Rockets is a bad loss per se, but getting blown out, that's supposed to be a team that's on your level. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of if obviously the Rockets last year, they got off to a really hot ending to the season. They almost made the play-in game. They almost knocked the Warriors out of the play-in, but I don't see the Rockets as super far ahead of the Spurs. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I bought into the hype a little bit too much. Maybe I thought Chris Paul would have a bigger impact than he's having so far to start off the year, but the Rockets are like here and the Spurs are like here, and that's very disappointing considering we thought Victor Wembanyama was going to come into the second year and probably be a top 10, and I've seen people even say a top 5 player in the NBA, which all of that is still possible. 2 weeks into the season. But right now, it's just not looking like that, and I'm very disappointed by the Spurs. Those are a couple of teams that have either exceeded my expectations or have very much disappointed me. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a sub and a like. We're going to be dropping a lot of content this NBA season, so make sure you stay in tune. I'll catch y'all next one.